Hi everyone. So this is the second time I'm recording this, and it's because the first time I kind of ranted a little bit, so I'd like to avoid doing that this time. And I'm going to make this actually a quick video because I think last time I ranted for about 20 minutes. So I'm hoping to stay under 15, maybe even 10. This is just a really quick, here's what to look for if you're looking for these other things video. So let's start. So what I had planned and what I did not execute, as you can see, is that I was going to look through all of these different programs or documents about Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals and everyone who is participating in those, all the companies, organizations, etc. And I wanted to see if there was a common language between them. And naturally there is, because each of these programs refer back to the Agenda 2030 or the development goals, which means that those are the base of everything that we're seeing happen. And whatever new programs are coming out, they're based on basically Agenda 2030. So these are the keywords and phrases that you should look for. Also, before I begin, actually, I could have sworn that it was Agenda 2030, but I'm seeing the 2030 agenda everywhere now. So I'm not sure if this is some weird kind of Mandela effect, butterfly effect, or whatever it's called. Maybe I switched timelines. I don't know what's going on, but I could have sworn it was Agenda 2030, not 2030 agenda. Just saying. Okay, so I first started by looking at our common agenda from the UN, which details all the steps that they want to take for a better world, supposedly. And they refer back to the, I'm going to keep calling it Agenda 2030, and the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDG. And so what I thought I would do is, like I said, look through all of these other new documents that are coming out. All of the revisions and even ones that we haven't quite heard before. So what I did is I looked through all of them, and there were many. Where's my folder? So I looked through about, not 30, maybe 20-ish. Some of these are for other videos. So I looked through about 20 of them. These are for generally the US and Canada, but I am certain that if you are in another country and you look up any of these kinds of new documents like Global Digital Future, Global Digital Compact, new global financial pacts, like whatever key terminology you want to use from these, I'm sure you'll find your own government's document pertaining to Agenda 2030 and SDG. So let's begin with the key concepts that I was looking at in our common agenda, and then I'll go through all of these in the blue column that I was writing out when I went through the other programs. So the first one you'll see is leave no one behind, protecting our planet or the environment, promoting peace and preventing conflicts, abiding by international law and ensuring justice, women and girls at the center of policies, building trust, digital cooperation, and that should be digital global cooperation. Hold on, let me just change that. Global. Okay, upgrade the UN, sustainable financing, boosting partnerships, which actually also means stakeholders, because they want more money, more of your money. Listen to and work with the youth, and to be prepared and preparedness, which always raises a flag in my mind. So as I was going through all of these documents, I found the same recurring key phrases, only slightly differently, just very, very slightly differently. So we'll go through these. I didn't mention where these were found, but there is one that is very interesting that I want to show. Actually, there's two things after this, but, three. There's three things that I want to show. But we'll just go through this quickly, and then I'll show you those three things, and that'll be it. So when you're looking through any documents, keep in mind these key terms. Development of youth, trusting the science, where have we heard that before? International digital cooperation, sustainable environment, sustainable development, accelerating the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. Outer space is very important to them now. New technology, no nuclear energy, but yes to peaceful nuclear research. You'll hear multilateral everywhere, multilateral system, multilateral negotiation, trading, development, etc. Regional cooperation, enhanced cooperation, emergency platforms or emergency early warning and crisis management systems, international financial structure, architecture, systemic shocks, which we'll get back to because there's something interesting I found this morning, debt relief, fighting climate change. This is what had me ranting for the 20 minutes of the last time I tried to do this video. So, fighting climate change and climate finance vehicles, which is really just another way of saying how to steal your money for something that doesn't exist. Humanitarian crises needing support, so more money for them, and not actually helping anybody. Fighting misinformation and disinformation. Peace enforcement is a nice contradiction in terms. Enforcing peace likely through military and police action, which is not peaceful whatsoever. Illicit financial flows, so preventing and stopping basically illicit financial flows, so criminal activity. Disarmament of everybody except the military, which is dangerous. Prohibiting drone targeting systems, which they use already, so I'm not sure why they even said this. International law, and you'll also see rule of law, which is interesting because Senior George Bush had said that as well. So now rule of law is coming back. Build education systems, and again, this is global. So global education, like one health, one government, one world order. Trust in global institutions. So again, building trust. New and emerging challenges, which they plan themselves and promote, and it's the basic David Icke problem reaction solution, or no problem reaction solution, or Hegelian dialect. They always look at their own charter of the UN first. The UN looks at their own charter, I should say, but they then look at the human rights charter, and they always specify that they are the heads of everybody, which is not true because they are self-elected, self-appointed, aggrandized, hubristic jerks. We don't want them there, but there they are. Protect civilians from armed conflict, maritime security, govern AI, mitigate AI deception, non-military AI safety, e-waste, end-of-life electronics. This ties into the C40s or C40 cities and smart cities and the 15-minute cities. South to south, north to south, digital cooperation, which really just means global cooperation. Universal, free, and secure internet, which will neither be free nor secure, but they're trying to get it universal with the 5G rollout during that special time in our lives when we were locked indoors for so long. Refrain from internet shutdowns, so cyber attacks. And Klaus Schwab had mentioned something about that recently too. Maintain freedom of expression, yeah, right. Data privacy and collection. Collection is keyword here. Data collection. Safe, secure, and trustworthy. Leveraging, or I should also say levers, forecasting, foresight. This is something I want to mention later on as well, is the pact word that you'll see everywhere. This is the other thing, deliberate biological threats, which I have open here. I'll show you that. Biotech, nanotech, human enhancement tech, so transhumanism. Wow, transhumanism. I'm trying not to rant about these things, so that's why I'm trying to go fast. Use of science in policy making, carbon taxes, use of science, trusting the science. I don't do that. I hope you don't either. Sudden inclusion of indigenous knowledge. Project Dandelion, which is women-led initiative for climate change. I have the website open somewhere. Where is it? Yes, I am one of those all the tabs open at all times person. Where is the thing? I had it somewhere. There it is. A women-led global campaign for climate justice. There's that word again. Every issue is a climate issue. No, it ain't. Okay. One everything. One health. Global commons. One global climate. Blah, blah, blah. One everything. We are in the midst of a planetary emergency. There's a few documents of those that are incredibly silly. Limits to growth report. That is very interesting. I recommend just reading that to know what it is. This is interesting too. These are the 2 or 3 word phrases that they like to use to make us feel safe, like this one, safe, secure, trustworthy, new world order, one world order, build back better, safe and effective, women, peace and security, prevention and peace building, peaceful, secure and stable, sufficient, safe and affordable. Excuse me. You'll also see equitable, just transition, complex transition, transition processes, transitional justice. See how they change this? They all mean the same thing. Basically one law, and there's no fighting it because it's not meant to be fought. You are not meant to win. And interventions needing funding. So this goes back to the humanitarian crises where they will require more money and they will basically convince you of it through something stupid like climate change. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the key words. I would like to go back really quickly to, where is it? The deliberate biological threats. I'll do that one first, which is found in the Summit of the Future, What Will It Deliver document. The Summit of the Future is happening at the end of end of September. And in here, on page 1, you will see here, let me zoom in for you, measures to coordinate on biological threats, natural and deliberate. If that isn't telling you that they're doing certain things with biological threats deliberately, I don't know what else will convince you. Measures to coordinate, meaning to plan, to then execute, which, haven't we seen that already? So, there's that. The other thing was, when it comes to the key phrase systemic shock, I refer you to this article, which was written August 19th, very recently, from the World Economic Forum. This is the URL. I'll have the link in the description of the video. If we go to the, I think 3rd or 4th. Yeah, an era of shock events. So, extremist groups emerging. Cyber pandemic. Schwab already mentioned this many times. And this is interesting. Climate change claims its first island nation in the post-pandemic era, meaning islands succumbing to climate change, sinking, an island sinking. Okay, think about all that. Sinking a lot faster than we expect How will climate activists and world leaders react? So they're planning, this is nuts, they are planning to sink an entire island. Either they're going to bomb it to pieces, I have no idea, earthquake, tsunami. Let's consider for a moment what islands hold lots of economic power, or they emit too much CO2 according to their cause of fighting climate change. I'm shocked by this, actually. I should have read this before the video. I didn't read this part before I started this video. I knew about these two. Wow, that's wild. And that's the last part of it. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Okay, so Japan is an island. Let's see, they have pretty good economic power, I think. I'm not sure, I don't really follow that. China, not really. Hong Kong, maybe. Australia. I'm trying to think of islands that have a lot of sway. Anyway, I'm sure you guys know way better than I do about this, but I mean, they said it right here. They're going to sink an island faster than they expect. That's insane. That's insanity, folks. Jesus Cripes. Okay. Oh God, this video is longer than I thought. Sorry. Okay, so the last thing is the word pact, or how you see it in pretty much all of these. Go back down. So, yes. So there is the Global Digital Compact. There's the Pact for the Future. There's the new Global Financial Pact. And there is also something called Impact, which I think, nope. I was also looking at this one, which I didn't know about before, Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. So now Africa is going to have its own issue with the agenda. And here's the impact. Okay, so let's really quickly look at this. So again, you'll see that these words are slightly different, but they mean exactly the same things as all of these key concepts and phrases. For example, monitoring, anti-corruption, AI, faith-based arts culture. So this is going back to the sudden inclusion in indigenous knowledge, women revitalization, children's rights, so helping the youth, digital governance, eliminating digital divides, so global digital surveillance, drug policies, earth governance, again, one earth, one globe, one everything. Financial, there it is, international financial architecture reform, so more funding for them. Funding and resourcing, not for citizens though. Future generations, so helping the youth, again, the youth. Global governance, again, earth governance, global governance. Just institutions, just international court of justice, international law, the rule of law. Meaningful youth engagement, peace building, these are all the same words. Marginalized communities, so this is, again, the humanitarian efforts to help other other communities that need it, but the money will not go to them, because it never has, never will. Science and policy, so basically trusting the science and developing policy around that science, which is false. And again, the UN reform. So this is exactly the same things, just reiterating everything that the UN Common Agenda has stated, which is everything that the 2030 or Agenda 2030 and SDG has been trying to get us to acquiesce to. And I also want to quickly, let's look up the definition of pact, shall we? A formal agreement, such as one between nations, a treaty. A compact, an agreement. I like these examples. The United States and Canada have signed a free trade pact, which is stupid because it's not really free trade. Big drug companies plan to form a pact with the National Institutes of Health to share information. So it's an agreement, a contract, a deal, an understanding. Now, since we know exactly who is, we almost know exactly who is controlling this world. At least we know the gophers anyway. If we consider that all of these gophers act on behalf of a certain force, we can say that all of these various organizations and groups are making pacts with that force to continue with the agenda of the force that is trying to destroy humanity. We have heard words that begin with re. So the Great Reset, for example. In a lot of these, you will see the words reaffirm, revitalize, re-engage, re-coordinate, re-everything, reinforce, what else? I'm sure there are other re-words. In any case, these re-words are basically remove, recovery, are essentially re-establish. Gosh, I'm finding all of them now. These re-words are basically telling you that there's going to be a new normal and you're going to have to accept it or you'll be in trouble. So, yeah, that's what I have for this video. I hope I made sense. This was kind of a ramble, kind of a rant. Trying to sound helpful. I don't know if any of this was helpful. I want to end with a short clip. I wonder if I can, I have it actually, I already have it. I want to end with a short clip of George Bush talking about the rule of law.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So, yeah, I hope this video was helpful. I don't know. I kind of just rambled on about things that I found. And I will see you next time. Ciao.